Yesterday, I ate my lunch at 2:47 in the afternoon. It was a granola bar and it was over my kitchen sink. While my dog watched me with the judgment of like a disapproving accountant. And I remember thinking, this is what nobody posts on Instagram. The green juice people want you to believe that entrepreneurship looks like a morning routine video. The reality, it looks like forgetting to eat until your hands shake, then calling it intermittent fasting. Even though you definitely did not choose this. So today, I filmed my actual day. No highlight reel, no here's my perfect optimized morning, just Tuesday. A Tuesday I forgot to plan, by the way, which you'll see in about 6 minutes when everything falls apart. If you've ever felt like you're the only entrepreneur who doesn't have it together, you're not. You're just the only one that's actually being honest about it. So, let's get into it. I'm Brandie, and this is Success on Social. But today, we are absolutely not talking about social media strategy. Today, we're talking about what it actually looks like to run a business when you are not a morning person. You do not own a $40 journal, and your CEO mindset is held together by caffeine and fear of disappointing a client. Here's what I want you to get from this. By the end, I want you to look at your own chaotic, imperfect granola bar over the sink business life and think, oh, it's not just me. Because here's what the highlight reel entrepreneurs won't tell you. The version of you that's disorganized and behind an email and eating lunch at 2:47 in the afternoon, that version is not failing. That version is building something real. And reality, real, is messy. So here's how my Tuesday actually went. I woke up at about 6:45 in the morning, which sounds disciplined until I tell you that I went to bed at 1:30 in the morning because I was in my Canva account, and I need you to hear me on this. I'm redesigning my Canva templates, not for a client, not for a launch, just because I actually decided at 11 o'clock at night that my brand colors felt a little off, and suddenly it was tomorrow. So I'm running on 5 hours of sleep and maybe a prayer. And I sit down at my desk at 7:30. I open my laptop. I have a to-do list from Friday that I definitely meant to look at over the weekend. And let me tell you, I did not look at it. First thing I see, 3 unread client messages. My heart does that thing where it like drops 2 inches. But I open them and 2 of them are just saying thank you. And 1 is a question I can answer in like 30 seconds. This is entrepreneurship. 90% of the things you're anxious about are 30-second answers. The other 10% are the reason you have a therapist. By 8:15, I've answered those messages. I've walked the dog and poured a second coffee. I'm feeling vaguely competent. This is what we call the danger zone. Tuesday is supposed to be my content creation day. I have a plan. I'm going to film 2 shorts, record a voiceover for a client project, and outline next week's newsletter. At 9:15, I set up my ring light. I changed my shirt twice because the first one looks washed out on camera. And honestly, if I'm going to tell entrepreneurs to show up authentically, I should at least not look like a Victorian ghost while I'm doing it. First short, say it with me. My to-do list does not determine my worth. Solid opener. I nail it in 2 takes. I feel like a content machine. I'm unstoppable. Second short, I try a different angle. The lighting is wrong. I adjust. The audio clips, I adjust again. The dog walks into the frame, and this happens a lot, and he sneezes directly into the microphone. I now have 11 takes of a 40-second video, and none of them are usable. This is the moment where the old version of me, the people-pleasing, perfectionist version, would have spiraled. You're not cut out for this. You can't even film a 60-second video. Everyone else makes this look so incredibly easy. But I've been doing this long enough now to know the spiral is the expensive part, not the wasted takes, the shame. So I did something radical. I closed the laptop, took the dog outside, and sat on the porch for like 15 minutes. Not because I deserved a break, but because I knew that pushing through a shame spiral produces garbage content and a garbage mood. That pause, that was the most productive thing I have done all day. And I almost didn't take it because I thought I hadn't earned it yet. 11:30, I realized that I haven't eaten. I opened the fridge. The fridge has not magically restocked itself since the last time that I had opened it, which was also hoping for a miracle. I eat a granola bar. I tell myself I'll make a real lunch after this one email. That email becomes 3 emails. Those emails become a client DM. That DM becomes oh, wait, I should just quickly update this landing page while I'm thinking about it. It's now 2:47 in the afternoon, and I'm eating a second granola bar over my kitchen sink. If you are an entrepreneur and you have never eaten a meal standing while mentally composing a response to a client, first of all, teach me your ways. And second of all, this is not a badge of honor. It's just not. I'm not telling you this because I think it's cute. I'm telling you because I want you to see the gap between what we post and what we live. Nobody posts the sink granola bar. They post the one lunch they actually planted nicely 3 weeks ago. And that gap between the plated lunch and the sink granola bar, that gap is where entrepreneurs start to feel like everyone else is doing this better than them. They're not. They're just better at hiding the wrapper. At 2:55 in the afternoon, my phone buzzes. Calendar notification. Call with Sarah at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I have exactly 5 minutes before a client call I completely forgot was on my calendar. I have not reviewed her project. I have not looked at my notes from our last call. I am wearing the same shirt I've been in since 7 o'clock in the morning, and there is probably granola on it. I take the call. I apologize, not excessively, just honestly. Sarah, I'm going to be real with you. I didn't review my notes ahead of this call. Give me 2 minutes to pull everything up and then we'll dive in. And here's what happened. She laughed and said, honestly, me neither. I've been running around all day. This moment changed something for me. Not just that day, but in how I run this business. The version of me that used to people please, I would have faked it. I would have pretended I was prepared. I stumbled through the call and then spent the next hour feeling like a fraud. But the version of me that's learning, that version told the truth. And the truth built more trust in 10 seconds than faking competence ever did in an hour. Your client doesn't need you to be perfect. They need you to be real. Because if you're real with them, you give them permission to be real with you. And that, not the polished presentation, that is where the actual working relationship lives. The call went great, by the way. We got more done in 40 minutes than we had in the last 2 structured calls combined because neither of us was performing. At 5:15, I've now closed my laptop for real this time. Not that I'm closing it, but I'll check emails on my phone in 20 minutes version. Actually closed. I made dinner. I sat on the couch with my partner and watched something stupid on Netflix. I did not open Canva. I did not just quickly check anything. And here's the part that I need you to hear. The entire day, the forgotten lunch, the 11 unstable takes, the client call I almost faked my way through, none of it looked like failure when I looked back at it from the couch. It felt like Tuesday because That's what building a business actually looks like. It's not the highlight reel. It's not the morning routine video. It's not the perfectly planted lunch and the color-coded calendar. It's the showing up, and it's the showing up messy, recovering, and then doing it again tomorrow, because you're not broken because you're building. So here's what I want you to take from this. Having it together is not the goal, but staying in the game is. The granola bar over the sink, that's not a failure. That's a Tuesday. The 11 bad takes, that's not incompetence. That's process. The client call that you forgot, that's not unprofessional. That's just being human and admitting it. That's leadership. And you don't need to wake up at 4 a.m. You don't need a perfect color-coded to-do list. You don't need to plate your lunch. You just need to keep showing up, keep being real, keep building something that looks like your life, not somebody else's highlighted reel. Because the version of you that's a little chaotic and behind on email and eating granola bars as a meal replacement, that version is not falling behind. You're just in the middle of the build. And the middle is supposed to be messy. If this made you feel a little less alone today, if you've ever eaten lunch over a kitchen sink and called it efficiency, comment granola bar below. Let's make it a thing. I want to see how many of us are out there building businesses one forgotten meal at a time. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit that button. This channel is where we stop posting the highlighted reel and we start talking about what's actually real. And I will see you in the next one.